Your trash bin is now a crime scene, and you are footing the bill.
Chuckles.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've got a stack of reports on the desk today, budget analysis, city ordinances, and some pretty eye-opening data from the Independent Budget Office.
It's good to be here.
And it all paints a worrying picture of life in the Big Apple.
Yeah, worrying might be an understatement. We're looking at a perfect storm of government overreach and, frankly, economic mismanagement. It's messy, it's expensive, and it's happening right now.
Okay, so let's set the scene for everyone. It's Wednesday, February 11th, 2026.
Right.
If you're living in New York City or if you own property there, your world just got a lot more complicated. We're talking about the mandatory composting program.
That's right. As of January, the new administration under Mayor Zoran Mamdani, they've officially resumed and intensified the enforcement of these composting fines.
Now, I remember back in April 2025, former Mayor Eric Adams, he hit the pause button on these for smaller buildings.
He did.
He basically came out and said the rollout was a disaster.
It was chaos. Total chaos. People didn't know which bin was which, trucks weren't on time, and, landlords were panicking. So he paused it.
But that grace period?
It's dead and buried.
So the trash police are back.
They are out in force. The Department of Sanitation is officially watching. If you own a building, if you rent an apartment, and you mix food scraps with regular garbage, they are writing tickets.
And the premise we're looking at today, based on this hard data, is a government program that demands 100% compliance, despite a history of failure, astronomical costs, and, massive bureaucratic infighting.
It sounds like a classic case of do as we say and pay us while you do it.
So let's unpack this. What exactly is the average New Yorker supposed to do right now to avoid getting a ticket?
The rules are strict. You must separate leaf and yard waste, food scraps, and that includes meat, bones, dairy, and food-soiled paper.
So the greasy pizza box, the chicken bones, the old lettuce?
All of it. And it can't just go in any old bag. It has to go into a specific DSNY brown bin, or a labeled bin that's 55 gallons or less. And it has to have a secure lid. You can't just throw it in a black bag on the curb anymore.
And if you slip up, you're rushing to work, late for the subway, you toss a banana peel in the wrong can.
You pay. And this is where it really hurts property owners. For buildings with 1 to 8 units, so your typical brownstone or small walk-up, the first offense is $25.
Okay.
Second is $50. Third is $100.
That adds up really fast if you have a few tenants who just don't care.
It does, but look at the bigger buildings, 9 or more units. The pain starts immediately. You start at $100 for the first mistake.
100.
Then $200. Then $300. And they can hit you with extra fines, anywhere from $50 to $200, just for putting the bin out at the wrong time or using the wrong lid.
This is what drives me crazy. It creates this dynamic where the landlord basically has to become a cop.
That's exactly what's happening. We've got a report here with a property manager, a guy named Athenios. He manages buildings in the city. Because of these fines, he is literally standing on the sidewalk, physically inspecting trash bags to see if his tenants are complying.
That's absurd. A property manager digging through garbage.
He has to. Because here's the kicker. He can't force his tenants to separate waste inside their own apartments. He can put up signs, send emails, provide the bins.
Sure.
But he can't stand in their kitchen. Yet, if a tenant throws a half-eaten burger in the regular trash, the landlord pays the fine.
So the city is outsourcing its enforcement to private citizens. You do our dirty work or we fine you.
Precisely. It's a transfer of responsibility. The government makes the rule, gets the credit for being green.
Right.
But the private sector, the building owners, they bear the risk and the cost.
Okay, speaking of cost, let's talk about the money. Because whenever the government says they have a great new program, my hand instinctively goes to my wallet.
You should hold on to it tight.
Yeah.
We pulled data from the Independent Budget Office, the IBO, and the financial picture of this thing is grim.
How bad is it?
Let's look at the baseline. Back in 2019, collecting regular trash cost taxpayers about $216 per ton.
Okay, $216 ton. That's the benchmark.
That's the benchmark for efficient trash pickup. Now compare that to organics collection, this composting program. The cost to collect and process that was a staggering $734 per ton.
Whoa, hold on. 734.
734.
That's more than triple the cost.
More than triple. You are paying a massive premium for every single apple core the city picks up.
Why? Is it special gold-plated trucks? I mean, why is it so expensive?
It's what the report calls the empty truck phenomenon.
The empty truck phenomenon.
Yeah, the IBO breaks it down. Sanitation routes are efficient when a truck fills up quickly. High density, high volume.
Makes sense.
But with organics, people just aren't participating. So you have these heavy, fuel-guzzling trucks driving for miles.
Right.
Stopping at every building and picking up almost nothing.
So they're burning diesel to haul air.
Basically. The data shows that on the most efficient routes, they call the 20th percentile, it costs about $585 a ton. Still really high.
Still high.
But on the inefficient routes, the 80th percentile, where most of this happens, the cost skyrockets to $1,450 per ton.
$1,450 to pick up a ton of compost? You could probably ship the trash to Paris for that kind of money.
It is fiscal insanity. You're paying union wages, fuel costs, maintenance for a program that economically makes 0 sense.
But the city presses on. They demand compliance. So with all these threats and fines, surely everyone's falling in line, right?
That's the other shoe dropping. We have the capture rate stats from late 2024. This measures how much of the compostable stuff is actually getting into the brown bins.
What's the number?
Citywide. The capture rate was 3.7%.
Wait, 3.7%.
3.7.
Yeah.
That means over 96% of the food scraps and yard waste that could be composted.
Is still going right into regular trash.
Yeah.
That is a total failure. You have a mandate, you have fines, you have education, and you haven't even cracked 4%.
It varies a little by borough, but not much. Staten Island was the star student, and they only hit about 13%.
And Manhattan?
A dismal 2.2%.
2.2. So in the densest part of the city, basically nobody is doing it.
Correct. And this is the core argument against the mandate. The government created a program that 96% of the waste stream is ignoring. Yet they're funding it and fining you as if it's a roaring success.
It feels like they're living in a fantasy world. And I know there's been some drama behind the scenes on this, right? It's not like everyone in City Hall is on the same page.
Oh, absolutely not. The political blame game is vicious. You had former Mayor Adams and his deputy, Randy Mastro, who paused the fines. They admitted the rollout was botched.
A rare moment of honesty from a politician.
It was. But then you had city council members, people like Shahana Hanif and Sean Abra, who went on the warpath. They accused the administration of sabotage and lying about resources.
Sabotage. Right, because clearly the reason people aren't separating their chicken bones is a vast conspiracy.
That's their narrative. They claimed the pause was a violation of the law. Now, under Mayor Mamdani, the fines are back. The law and order of garbage is restored.
But the underlying problems.
The massive cost, the lack of buy-in from actual New Yorkers, those haven't changed at all.
It reminds me of that quote from Samantha McBride. She used to be a research director for sanitation.
Right. She said, there's a lot more than just writing tickets that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And she's right. You can't ticket your way to a cultural shift, especially when the economics are this broken.
But whenever you bring up the cost or the hassle, the defense is always the same. But it's for the environment. It's to stop the rats.
The green narrative. It's a powerful shield. But let's actually look at the results, not the slogans. Take the rat issue.
Yeah, I've heard this constantly. Brown bins starve the rats.
That's the claim. The idea is if food is in a hard bin, rats can't eat it. But skeptics, and just common sense, point out a flaw. When you mandate every building stores food scraps in these bins, you're often just concentrating the attractant.
Right.
If a lid is loose or cracked or a bag spills, you've created a rat buffet.
And have you ever seen a New York City trash can that wasn't slightly broken or overflowing?
Exactly. And then there's the emissions argument. The goal is to reduce methane from landfills, a noble goal. But look at the IBO data again. To collect this compost, you are adding thousands of truck runs.
More trucks on New York streets. Just what we needed.
These trucks cause congestion, they idle in traffic, they emit their own pollutants. The report admits adding more truck runs increases fleet emissions. So you're burning fossil fuels to pick up potato peelings to supposedly save the planet.
It feels like one step forward, two steps back. So what happens to the compost? Do they sell it? Does it make any money?
That is the offset reality. To make this program fiscally sustainable, the city needs to sell the compost or sell carbon credits.
Okay, so who's buying New York City's compost?
The IBO says the demand is unknown.
Unknown.
They don't know if anyone wants it. And the infrastructure to process it isn't fully there yet.
So we are paying a premium to collect a product, processing it at high cost, and we have no idea if there's even a market for it.
It's a business model, They would get you fired in the private sector in about 5 minutes. Hey, boss, I'm going to spend triple the budget to make a product nobody wants.
You'd be escorted out of the building.
But in government, you'd just raise the fines.
Well,
We're effectively paying a feel-good premium. It makes the city leadership feel like they're doing something green, but the reality is it just increases the cost of living for everyone.
it's staggering when you look at it all together. You have landlords acting as trash police. You have the economic failure spending $734 a ton for a job that costs $216.
Right.
A 3.7% participation rate, which is just embarrassing. And the environmental benefits are debatable at best.
And remember, this is mandatory. This isn't a pilot program anymore. This is the law. If you're a small business owner, a landlord, or just a resident, you're part of this inefficient machine, whether you like it or not.
So here's the bottom line. The government is fining citizens for a program that costs 3 times more than regular trash collection and has a 96% failure rate in terms of actual capture.
It's a system that punishes the user for the system's own inefficiency.
I want to leave you with this thought today. If a business ran a program that lost this much money and had this few customers, it would go bankrupt. But when the city of New York does it, they just send you the bill. Is this really about cleaning up the environment, or is it just about cleaning out your wallet?
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
Stay informed, everyone.